Hi, I'm Sandy LeBlanc from fitjourney.ca and here to talk to you today about stretching your hip flexors. So I've found in working with long distance runners, triathletes, cyclists and other endurance athletes that the hip flexors can become quite problematic. That's because of the repetitive nature of the sports, the sagittal motion always moving forward, whether you're running or cycling. And it does tend to build tightness into the front of the legs. The best preventative measure you can take to alleviate problems with your hip flexors is to stretch your quads. So you can look at my video on quadricep stretching to get some tips on that. But if you're in a position where your hips are now really tight and there's pain there and discomfort, here are some things that you can do to address that. So first of all, strengthening the hips and the quadriceps together. So they are in combination together. Just coming into a wide stance, the feet are hip width apart, and I'm just going to do some standing lunges, just coming up and down. And of course, if you wanted to make this a little more effective, you could be holding a weight. Maybe do 10 with one leg forward and 10 with the other leg forward. And so now I'm feeling the work in this thigh as well as in this thigh. So that's a great strength training option. Same stance, you can use this for a stretch. Just come down, keep the front knee right over your foot. Maybe have your hands on your hips, and we're going to keep the tailbone under here so we're not arching the back, but just keeping that lower back safe. And my knee is pointing straight down right now. I'm going to keep my body where it is, not come up out of the lunge, and just start to straighten that leg. So it went from being a quad stretch to into my hip. And then come out of it, breathe out, and breathe in, and out, and in. So moving in and out of the stretch, we're not bouncing, we're just pulsing with the breath to cue the body into releasing. Obviously do the same thing on the other side. Another great option too, if you're coming back from a long ride or a long run and your energy's low, just come into a wide stance with the toes out, pretty wide stance. Have your hands on your thighs, come down into a deep squat with the hips coming back, and then we're just going to come into some side lunges here. So we often think of the hip flexors as just being into the front of the hip, but they're actually also your inner thigh, your adductor muscles. These are stabilizer muscles. They also get tight with the repetitive nature of the sport. Just going side to side, being slow and mindful. If it's too deep, come up. And then use your legs to bring yourself back up. Toe, heel in. Another awesome stretch for your inner thighs and your hip flexors is borrowed from yoga, bound angle pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. Come to laying on your back, put the soles of your feet together and the knees apart. Maybe just give yourself a few breaths to lay here and allow the weight of the legs to just give a gentle stretch into the inner thighs. And then what we're going to do with this is pulse with the breath, adding pressure of the soles of the feet together. So take an inhale and push the feet into each other. Try not to let the knees come up. And then exhale and let it go. Inhale, squeeze, feel the little resisted contraction in your inner thighs, and then exhale, let it go. This is an isometric exercise, but it's really effective at stretching as well. Just pulsing with the breath. So maybe do that 5 to 8 times. And then finally, one more option, another pose from yoga, bridge pose. Having the feet directly under the knees, maybe touching your feet with your fingers. Press down into your feet, lengthen your hips up. Take your time and just clasp the hands together beneath your hips. Just get the back of your arms tucked under your back. And then just keep active with your feet, pushing down into the mat, trying to create a line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. And just getting a really nice stretch into the quadriceps, into your hip flexors, into your ribs and into your shoulders. And here's another one where you can pulse with the breath. Take an inhale, push into the feet, lift a little higher. Exhale, pull it down. You want to make sure your lower back is safe here, so keep your tailbone pulled under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Just softening with the breath. So there you go. Ideas for strengthening your hips and also some great options for how to stretch them out. But better yet, come to a yoga class at Fit Journey. Your body will thank you.